The last slide is just showing what is percentage of a number. Remember, whenever you see off, it just means multiply. We saw this with fractions. So all this means is I want to multiply a percentage with a certain number. Okay, so let's try an example. What is 10% of 34? So 10% of ki jagah I'm writing 34. I'm just multiplying. So let me just simplify. 10% instead of the percent, I'm going to write, remember percent is per 100, so divided by 100 times 34, right? And now I just have to simplify. So the 0 gets cancelled with a 0. I'm left with 34 divided by 10. We know how to do this. It just means I can move the decimal. So first of all, if the answer was required in a fraction, I can simplify this more. I can say 2 ones are, so 2 ones are 2, 1 carries 17, and 2 5s are. So the simplest fraction I can leave is 17 over 5. That would be fine. Or if they've asked for decimal, then when I get to this step, 34 over 10, notice it's just dividing. So the decimal, which is here a b, will move one space to the left. So it will become 3.4. Okay. So that's good. And either I just want to do a quick shortcut before we move on. I think so the tens ki fractional percentages jo hain, it's the easiest to do because that's all it is. You just have to divide by 10, right? Because 10 over 100 just means 1 over 10. So you're just dividing a number by 10. Instead of doing all this complicated math, if I asked you, do in your head, what is 10% of 75? All I'm saying is divide 75 by 10. So it's 7.5. So think in tens. If you ever take the SAT exam, this shortcut is useful because you can then extend it. Agar 10% is just a number, let's say, let's start with 150. And the question is, what is 20% of 10? I'm teaching you a shortcut. Well, we know 10% would be just 150 divided by 10, which is 15. So 20 should be double of that. So 30, right? So in your head, that's how you do it. Obviously, the formal method we've just learned is I would say 20 over 100 times 150, and then I would cancel, 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 cancel. I'm left with 2 times 15, which is 30. But you can, with practice, start doing these in your head. And the basic step is knowing that 10% is just equal to 1 over 10. And anything that's a multiple, so 20% would be twice of this. 30% would be 3 times of this. Okay. Cool. Now let's do 12% of 700. This is harder to do in your head, so I recommend writing it. So 12% is 12 over 100 times 700. Well, nice enough, the zeros cancel out. I'm just left with 12 times 7. 7 2s are 14, 7 1s are 7, 84. What about 17.5% of 260? So here's where we'll use our trick as well. But first of all, what is the long method? Well, by the way, you can get a decimal inside a percentage. So it's not always nice and neat, but there's no need to panic. It is just the same logic. So it's instead of the percent, I'm writing over 100 for now times 260. But what about if we know how to get rid of a decimal. If I get rid of this, niche, I have to multiply by the number of units, which is 1. So I have to multiply by 10, 10. So I can just rewrite this as 175 over 100 times 260 over 10. Now there's a lot of cutting, so I can cut the 10 with this 10, and then I can simplify this, and it's a long division. You can do this, you would probably expect it to do this on a calculator. So you could do this long division and get 4550, and you still have the divided by 100, so you would get, move the decimal 2 places, 45.5. If you didn't have a calculator, you'd have to actually do the long division. 175 times 26. You do the full division, 6 5s are 30. I'm going to let you do this. Hopefully you're very good at this now. But what I wanted to highlight is this shortcut that I was talking about. Remember, I told you I'm passionate about sort of math and shortcuts and things like that. So if you had to do this without a calculator and without even having sort of this long division possible, how would you do it? So we know we can always do 10% and 5%. That's a hint. So 260 ka 10% is just 1/10. So that is just 26, right? Just remove the 0. So 5% should be half of that. And what is half of 26? It's 13. Okay. And what about another half of that? If I did another half, I would get 2.5%, and 13 ka half is 7.5. Okay. How do I use this? Well, notice what is the sum of all of these things. 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17.5%. So if I added these numbers, if I lined them up, which they are thankfully lined up correctly, well, let's see if we get the right answer. So 0.5, 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 6 is 16. No, 7 plus, what did I do wrong? So 260 ka half is 13. Oh, this is 6.5. Found my mistake. Okay. 6 2s are 12, plus 3 15. 1 carry. 2 plus 1 3, plus 1 45.5. So you get the same answer, but this neat trick, which if you become, and you will, good enough at math, you could have done this in your head. So 26, uska half 13, uska half 6.5, and you add them up. Now another useful application of percentages is when you have to represent one number as a percentage of another number. And just as the rule applies, as the wording suggests, all you're doing is number 1 divided by the second number, right? So if it says Ashfa gets 96 marks out of 120, then all we're saying is put 96 here divided by the off wala number, which is 120, and you have to multiply by 100%. So this example would be 96 over 120 times 100, and remember you have to put this percentage sign. Now we can just simplify and cancel like we know how to do with fractions. So the 0 gets rid of this 0. Now we can do, let's use another color. So 2 5s are, 2 6 are, and use one more color. 6 1s are, 6 1s are 6, 3 carry, 6 6 are 36, and then finally 16 times 5 is 30, 5 1s are 5, you get 80%. Okay, so that's 80% score. If Ashfa got 96 marks out of 120, then she had a 80% score. Another way this question can be asked on an exam is 5 is what percent of 25. So the key thing is this off. It just tells you what number goes niche and what number is on top. So off means 5 of 25, and then the key step is, because they've asked for a percentage, we're multiplying basically by 100 over 100, which we've learned to say percent means per 100. So this is the percentage sign, and now it's just simplifying. So 5 1s are, 5 5s are, and then 5 1s are, 5 20s are. So this is 20%.